everybody, Kate McShay here, and I am on Elite Marketing Pro's Daily Dose of Awesome call. And the cool thing is that we are actually in a very special place. We're in Los Angeles this morning, and we are at Elite Marketing Pro's Fast Track to Freedom workshop. So we've got some people that are here with us. We're doing, we're kicking off our day, starting our Friday. Got everybody here. Learning some really good stuff. We're actually just started a little bit over an hour ago, and what we want to do today for you on the Daily Dose of Awesome call, and if you're hopping in, make sure you pop in, you say hello, say who you are, where you're coming in from. We'd love to give you guys a shout out. But when we're at these workshops, we like to see if we can give you something new, like a little sneak peek on what we're training on throughout the weekend. And this time, I'm really excited because we actually have a new Daily Dose of Awesome guest who's going to be training our Fast Track members here, and it is my very good friend, JT DeVolt.
Thank you, JT. Hey friends, hope you guys are having a great time out there. Welcome to Los Angeles. Welcome to the Fast Track to Freedom workshop. Today, my focus for you is to teach you something that I think is very important in your business, so much so that I will say this. I'm going to ask you the same question at home. I want you guys to answer. If you had to guess what is one of the top, if not the number one killer of a business, regardless if it's a small business, a solopreneurship, or a major corporation. If you guys want to answer at home, you can type your responses in there. Anybody here have a guess? One of the top killers, destroyers of a business.
Lack of consistency.
That's a good one. Lack of consistency, that definitely happens. Anybody?
Lack of belief.
Lack of belief, totally.
Focus.
Focus. Absolutely. And that's what I want to talk about today. Notice how not one person said a lack of leads. Not one person said a lack of revenue. Not one person said we didn't get the funding, right? Because those are mechanisms. Those are pieces of the big machine that can all be corrected over time. You could have the best foundation in your business. You could have the best funnel. You could have the best marketing in the world. But if you lack the focus, it can derail very quickly. So we're going to talk specifically about that. Now, as a coach and a consultant myself, I teach people focus in two categories. There's mental focus, which I'm going to talk briefly about, and then there's what I call energetic focus. And energetic focus is actually far more powerful in not just business, but in life. You'll get a lot more done if you've got the energetic focus. So we're going to talk about those two. Let me talk about mental focus first. Mental focus is something very interesting and kind of intimate to me personally, because as a kid growing up, my dream was to be a Blue Angel. I wanted to fly in the United States Navy Blue Angel flight demonstration team. And because flight school is very intense, you have to go to college and have a 4-year degree. Most people in my life, teachers, coaches, friends, very close family members, including the United States Navy themselves, said I would never become a Navy pilot. And the reason for this was not necessarily because they were being evil or cruel or mean. It was because I was such a terrible student in high school. And that was as a direct result of being diagnosed with ADD. Now, back in those days, I'm not going to tell you how old I am. I applaud everybody who jumped up and said their age. But back in the day,
how old were you?
When I got diagnosed, I was young. I was double digit. I was 10, 11. They didn't know what it was, or they didn't understand it like they do nowadays. So there was this sense like maybe I would be very marginalized throughout life. So I had to prove it not just to the world, but to myself that I could learn to focus. So I want to tell you a couple of things. If you're going to learn to be more mentally focused, you have to understand that it's not just about your personal body or your brain. A lot of it is very much environmental. I know people who can go into a coffee shop and sit down for 2 straight hours and get the best work done. Personally, it would drive me bonkers. It would drive me nuts. I can't be around all that noise. I think one of the greatest inventions in the world outside of, the invention of flight is noise-canceling headphones. So my wife bought me a set of these Bose sound-canceling headphones, and I wear them on the plane. I wear them around the house. Sometimes I wear them, and I'll plug it into my phone, but my phone's off, just so people leave me the hell alone. Right? So I want to show you something here. I want you to imagine for a moment that you have the person or the people you love the most in the car with you. I want you to think about who that person is. You guys back at home, think about this as well. The person, or maybe it's your family, maybe it's your kids, your grandkids, maybe it's your nephews, your nieces, whomever it might be. It could be your grandparents, people that you love the most. Now I want you to think about driving down the road with them completely stoned out of your mind, intoxicated on marijuana. Who would do that? Raise your hands. Nobody in this room would do that. Anybody at home do that? Would anybody at home drive with their kids, their loved ones, behind the wheel of a 2-ton machine stoned out of your brain? How many people here driving a car have a tendency to look at your phone? Come on now. Don't wuss out on me now. Who? Hewlett-Packard actually hired the University of London to do a study. They said, we want our people, our executives, and our middle managers to be far more productive. Can you show us how to do that? And so they did a series of studies. Part of that study was to do an IQ test. And so what they did is they took a test group of folks, they had them use marijuana, and they gave them an IQ test, before and after. Then they put some of the people in a driving simulator. So just like a flight simulator, now it's like you're driving down the road, and they had them do things like turn on the radio, text somebody, answer a text, hold a conversation, eat a burrito, drink a cup of coffee. And they gave them an IQ test. I don't know how they actually pulled this off while they were driving, but they gave them an IQ test before and after. Here's what's interesting. Under the influence of marijuana, the test group dropped IQ levels by 5 points. There was a 5-point drop in their IQ. The people who were completely stone cold sober, that were driving the driving simulator and flipping the radio, having a conversation, eating a burrito, and texting, their IQ dropped by 10. You are literally twice as dumb when you multitask. And unfortunately, in our society of do more, hustle your face off, melt your face into the screen of your computer and get as much done as you can, we somehow have begun to worship multitasking, right? We think it's so great to 10x our results and hustle and outwork everybody else, but what we're doing is actually killing ourselves. So there's a connection in your brain. Your brain actually goes into adrenal mode. Your adrenal glands pump up. You go into a fight or flight mode. You become far more stressed out. You actually start packing on body weight in the midsection, belly fat, and it raises the levels in your blood that creates cancer. So what I want to talk about mental focus is, number one, you've got to stop multitasking. Number one, you have to stop multitasking. If you can train yourself to get past that need to always be in the know, to get 100 things done at once, I promise you, your business will grow. Your sales will go up, your effectiveness will go up, and more importantly, your results will show in a very short amount of time. The number two thing you can do is a technique called the Pomodoro technique. Anybody ever heard of the Pomodoro technique? Some of you have, some of you use it. I think it's a game changer. And this is how it works, and you guys can try this at home. You focus in on one topic only, one task only. You're going to write ad copy for your blog post. You're going to script out your next Facebook Live. You're going to be working on your sales funnel. Whatever that one task is, and you set a timer. That timer could be anywhere from 20 to 50 minutes, but not really much more than that. You'll notice that if you've ever gone through school or come to an event like this, we break things up into chunks because not just to give you a state change, but to keep your brain fresh. So what a lot of times people will try to do, they'll try to out-hustle everybody else and try to grind and try to be that big macho person, but they're becoming less effective over time. So you focus on one thing for 20 to 50 minutes. And at that 20 to 50 minutes, you stop. Now this is difficult for the type A's in the room, right? We want to keep pushing, we want to keep going. So you have to be disciplined enough to stop. And if you can stop and then give yourself a 10-minute break, and by 10 minutes I mean no internet, no text, no phone, no checking your email, where you literally decompress. I have at times literally sat down in sort of the, I don't know what they call that pose, and not meditated, but just sat on the floor.
Lotus.
Is that what it's called, the lotus pose?
Position. Yeah.
Listen to this guy. Just to clear my brain. Sometimes I'll turn on some Metallica because that's how I roll. Sometimes I'll pop out some burpees because that's how I roll. But I do things that do not require electronic stimulation. Does that make sense? To give your brain a chance. So if you can go through a couple of those cycles, you can become very effective. That's the mental focus piece. I want to put the mental focus aside now, and I want to talk about the energetic focus. A lot of times in business, entrepreneurs, especially in the beginning phases of starting something, they'll say to themselves, I'll be happy when. I'll be successful when. I'll be happy when the bills are paid. I'll be happy when we're out of debt. I'll be happy when the haters, the naysayers, and the doubters all shut the hell up. I'll be happy when we finally have that house on the bluff overlooking the Puget Sound or the Pacific Ocean. I'll be successful when I have 20,000 people following me. I'll be successful when I have 800 people viewing my Facebook Live. I'll be successful when, but here's the key. It's all false. It doesn't happen that way. Because you can have this, and I've got dear friends of mine that we've had long conversations deep into the night about, where we've got the 800 people on a Facebook Live, we've got the crowds of people coming to our websites, we've got the money, we've got the cars, we've got the houses, and we feel completely drained, completely empty. And we wonder, what the hell was that grind for? What was that hustle your face off crap for? Why did we listen to that BS? The energetic focus that I want you to consider is what it is you really want from life. And why? Energetically, if you could be laser focused mentally. You could know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to be like, man, that ex-Navy pilot, dude, he told me 50 minutes, and I did it. And for 50 solid minutes, I blocked all the noise out. I had my sound-canceling headphones on, and I was grinding and crushing. And then I took my 10-minute break. I sat in the lotus pose. I'm exhausted, but I'm back. And I got back, and I did it again and again and again. And in one day, I got more done than I did in 2 weeks. He's right. And you drove yourself right off the cliff, metaphorically. Because energetically, your focus was in the wrong place. I hope this works. I want this to work. I need this to work. If it doesn't work, then. And all of a sudden, we start thinking in terms of being in the wrong place. Our focus is not on winning. Our focus is on not losing. Do you understand the difference? There's a massive difference between wanting to win and not losing. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think like a GPS, all right? When I flew in the Navy, we used a GPS, a global positioning system. And what a global positioning system does is takes 2 points. It takes your destination and it takes your point of origin. And then it draws a line or creates a flight path to get you where you want to be. But here's the problem. Most people in their business, they're not quite sure what it is they really want. They go, man, it would be really great to be a 6-figure earner. No, you know what? I want to be a 7-figure earner. I'll tell you what. I'll be happy if I could just make my first 10,000. No, you know what? My first sale would be fine. So you get all of these little ideas and dreams, and it becomes what we call the cloud of opportunity. Everything looks like a great idea. Everything looks like an opportunity. And what do? We start to meander. We start to chase our tail. We start to follow shiny objects. We get into that shiny object syndrome. There's 3 really critical questions you have to answer for yourself. Number 1, what is it you really, really want? What is it you really, really want? Number 2, where are you relative to this target? And one thing I can tell you, you're very fortunate to be here this weekend because you're going to hear I promise you this, I will personally guarantee that there are going to be some tears that flow and some massive weight lifted off people's shoulders because you will get clear on this point here, where you're starting from relative to what you want. If you understand how you think, if you understand how you believe, if you understand how you operate and execute toward your dream, you can have anything you want. It's not that whole be, do, have thing, but it's pretty close. If you think to yourself, man, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to crush this damn business. It's going to be amazing. But deep down in here, you don't have that belief system, or you think millionaires, there's something wrong with being rich, or you were raised in a house where people told you wealthy people were cruel or evil or something like that. There's something wrong. There's a disconnect, and it's going to keep you from connecting these 2 lines. Here's the part that I will tell you that's very important. If you can focus energetically on one thing, and that is this. The realization of where you are and where you want to be, if there's a big valley between those, it is okay. You don't have to be the millionaire or the marathon runner or the rock star or the person that's got it all figured out and together in order to be over here where your dream is. It's okay for this valley to be full of sharks and tornadoes, or tornadoes full of sharks. It's okay.
Sharknadoes.
As long as you have a what, which are your goals, right? And a how, which are what we call objectives. I like to think of them as mini checkpoints, all right? So I'm just going to write objectives. I wish I had more time to explain the difference between kind of a dream. People say this, the world is going to be taken over by dreamers. You ever heard that? The world will be owned by dreamers. Let's dream, brother. To me, I think that's a load of crap. The world isn't run by dreamers. The world is run by doers. And here's the difference. A dream is a desire. It's the acronym is desire, reason, emotion, attitude, motivation. Wonderful. But that's not what gets the job done. You got to build a bridge. You got to build a bridge, a strong bridge, to get from here to here. And that takes drive. Drive is discipline, resolve, investment, and I'm not talking about financial investment necessarily. I can't spell. Investment of your energy, of your time, and a total 100% buy-in and sacrifice on your part. You have to invest in yourself to be able to do that. Vision and execution. That's how you build the bridge. And the last thing I'll say in the 3 seconds I got left is this. If you can take the focus off of yourself, if you can take the focus off of your needs to make money, your needs to be fulfilled, your needs to have the 800,000 followers on Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff, and instead place the need on building a bridge and helping other people get to that other side, you will have a magnificent dream business that you won't even believe. It'll far surpass your expectations right now. And this is what I tell people, and I want you to take this home with you as well. You tell me, you bring me your dream. I don't care where you're starting from. You bring me your dream, you bring me your drive, and I'll help you get there. You do that, my friends, and it will shift everything in your business. You'll be far more successful than you ever dreamed, and the focus will be in the right place, and we'll help you get there. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Everybody that's at home, how awesome was that? Drop a 1 if that was powerful for you and you had like an aha moment or a light bulb moment. For you guys, how many of you had a quick little shift of, oh, I get it now? Nice. Yeah. And here's what's cool is we're not done with this. This is what we'll be working on next after we go through our expectations for the weekend, which is exciting. So we're going to dig deep into this because if we can't get this, then nothing else that we talk about this weekend matters, right? And if you're new to Elite Marketing Pro and you're new to the Daily Dose of Awesome call, there's something special that I just wanted to share with you that was really impactful for me when I first started out, and it's their 10-day boot camp. It's their 10-day prospecting and recruiting boot camp. And if they go to elitemarketingpro.com, correct? If you go to elitemarketingpro.com, you'll actually see it right there flashing in front of you, and you can go and you can actually enter in your email and get that 10-day boot camp to help you get kick-started. I know it was super powerful for me. I know it can be powerful for you. So make sure that you stick around and you keep a lookout for this weekend because I think we'll be going live again on Sunday. So you can see all the things that we're going to be accomplishing this weekend and all the stuff that these amazing Fast Track members are going to be going through. And with that being said, JT, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.